So, as some of you guys know, I purchased this stunning Mercedes GT63s from auction, but there's one big problem: it wouldn't start. This was previously owned by professional footballer Ashley Young, and I have been told that he was driving along the motorway when the coolant light came on. He didn't have a suitable place to stop in time, and the engine overheated badly. So bad that the engine ended up having catastrophic damage with no compression and would no longer start. The car, of course, went to Mercedes to be repaired under warranty. However, this was quickly rejected due to driver error, as they found damage on the intercoolers which would not qualify as a warranty repair. Following that, the car ended up in auction, where I found the car and went ahead with the bids, which I ended up winning.
What? £77,000 non-runner, requires a new engine, 8,000
Come on, let's go. GT63s is mine. In the last few episodes of this series, we checked the car, took the engine out, stripped it down completely, and even rebuilt it. Once we started the car up, we faced even more issues, which you're about to find out in today's episode.
What's happening, people? So today we are back on the Mercedes GT63s. If you remember in the last video, the last thing that happened was we started the car up, it was running a little rough, had a few fault codes, and of course it was leaking coolant from this radiator here and this intercooler. So what we're going to do today is replace both of them and then top up some fresh coolant and give the car a start. So usually I'd look on eBay or something to get a replacement part, but unfortunately of a car of this type being so new, the parts aren't available, so we went straight to Mercedes. Here's the cooler, and here is what I think is the radiator, brand spanking new from Mercedes. Let's get this installed and let's fire the car up. Here's the old one that we removed. If you look at that, that is where the coolant was pouring out from. I have no idea what happened, but it looks like there's some blood on there. Look, some blood stain. I don't know, animal, stone. But yeah, that's strapped right now. So the intercooler on the driver's side is held down by a square bracket. We're just gonna remove the screws that hold that in, and that will allow us to take it out. Quite interesting to see that this car actually has air suspension in it. A GT touring car like this with air suspension, very nice. Must be comfortable for the journeys. Yeah, it handles so good as well. Got a bit of oil coming out there. I'm not really sure if this is an intercooler or oil cooler, but it must be something to do with the oil, because it's obviously got oil going into it. It's got water as well, coolant. Yeah. So definitely some sort of an oil cooler. I assume it's an intercooler because the BMW M5s actually have intercoolers on the sides like this. So does many other cars as well. Have a look at the rust on these brake discs. Imagine, yeah, the car's only got 4,000 miles on the clock, and that is the state of the brake discs. Finally, that was a bit tricky. I don't see why they made it so tricky to take off an oil cooler. But there you have it, guys. You can see through the other side. It's finally that time to win the Audi S3. So this S3 is in black and it's got two-tone leather seats. Very, very nice spec for a car from 2010. Let's have a look. It's got leather steering, 6-speed manual transmission, sat-nav, both speakers. If you watched the video, you would have seen that this car is now stage 2. It's running downpipes and bigger intakes, both 3 inches. It's about 360 bhp. It is rapid, being a quattro 4-wheel drive. Now to enter the competition, all you have to do is go to my website, Boost Competitions. I'll put a link right here. Each ticket will cost you £3.99. Maximum entries are only 3,500. Make sure you get involved and buy a ticket. So now that you saw the car, let's hear it. Audi S3, 2-litre TFSI, 360 bhp, yours for £3.99. Can't go wrong with that, right? This is the first car to enter my competition, so make sure you guys get involved. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions right now. Most of them will be answered on the website's FAQ section. And don't forget, when you get involved in the competition, you are massively helping me out on my channel as well. So if you win the car, you're helping the channel. Win-win, right? Anyways, back to the GT63s. All right, we got a bit of a problem. Over here, I have an oil cooler, brand new from Mercedes, yeah? Little did I know that in that bracket, there's 2 pieces mounted, one for the coolant, one for the oil. That is so annoying. So I pretty much ordered this one, non-stock item, which means I can't even refund it. This is what I needed. This is for the coolant. Obviously we know it's a coolant leak, but I didn't know that there was 2 stuck together. So that's the one I purchased. As you can see, we need this. So this is the grill that protects the radiator, and obviously where the stone hit, you can see there's a hole there, so we're gonna have to replace this as well at the same time in order to protect the new one. We ordered both of them, and they're clearly both non-stock items, so I highly doubt they're gonna allow me to refund it. But anyway, this is what we need. It is the coolant radiator front right. Here it is, 146 plus VAT. I had a look on eBay, and the going rate is around 180, 190, 300 even, believe it or not, for used parts. So a lot of times, the dealers are actually cheaper than looking online like eBay and stuff. But anyway, let's order it up, and hopefully I'll get this by Monday. Back today on the GT63s. Last time we had the wrong cooler, and today we have the right one. Straight from Mercedes, brand new. Let's get this fitted, and that should be the end of the coolant leaks. There you have it, brand new intercooler fitted. Let's have a look. Look at the other side, the color difference. Not to mention how badly this car needs a car wash. Look at this. Spider webs everywhere, leaves as well. Now we can put fresh coolant into the car and start it up and hopefully leave it running. Then we can diagnose any other faults that are left on the vehicle and hopefully start boxing this car up. Almost there.
We're going to use this water to check it, yes?
Yeah, so what we're doing right now, we're not actually putting coolant in, we're putting water to do a check. Because the last thing we want to do is put fresh coolant in and we've got another leak somewhere lying around, or something's not sealed properly. So the water is just a check. We can run up the engine, it's not a problem. So this is the coolant that goes around the engine. And then you also got another coolant reservoir over here. And this is for the transmission. Now this battery is completely dead, so we got a brand new one. We're going to replace that over. One heavy battery. Right, coolant's now been added, battery's fitted. Let's start the car up. Let's go, big moment again. There we have it. AMG Beast is alive again. Running nice, isn't it? What do you think? Yeah, running good, man. I can't wait to hit the roads with this one. How's it running, yo? Running good? Alright, we got some lights on the dashboard. We got traction light. We got the rails fluctuating up and down. Engine management light is on, but the car is running, and that's good news. So what we're going to do now is scan the car for fault codes, see what comes up, and start diagnosing it one by one, because car should not be running like this. So yeah, let's scan the car. So here's the fault codes we have at the moment, and like I said, when you take an engine out and change all these parts, you will have loads of fault codes. That's what we saw last time. Crankshaft position system variation not learned. And last time I remember I tried to do it with the ignition on, but the ECU requires the car to be turned on to do this. So anyway, clear the codes up, see what comes back. So the first thing I'm going to do, because the car's running rough, I'm going to do the crankshaft variation learn first, and then I'm hoping that that should fix the problem. Yeah, see, look, these have come back. Throttle position sensor, O2 sensor 1 and 2. I know about them too because they're disconnected. This is something to look at, but let's do the crankshaft position system learning first. So the fault code we have for the crankshaft position system, we have to basically carry out a calibration, and hopefully if all is good, we should be able to start this car up and the car should be running smooth once we're done. So this is the section where you do the teaching process. So over here it says, look, sensor rotor adaptation completed successfully, no. Let's go do that, and I believe for this we're gonna have to drive the car on the road. All right guys, it looks like to do the sensor rotor adaptation we need to hit the road. So this is the first time we're gonna actually drive with the vehicle. So before we hit the road, as you can see, the brake disc is very rusty. I don't really want to damage the pads by breaking it. So what we're gonna do is remove as much rust as we can. Finally, the wheels are back on. Why? Because the car's about to hit the roads. It's been a while. It's been a long while.
I think this is the first time the AMG is going to move off and hit the road. So let's do this. I'll let you hold this machine. We still got engine management light, as you can see, and according to the fault codes, that sensor adaptation was required. So let's go do that first. We're moving, guys. The GT63s is currently moving. It's got a really bad turning circle, by the way. A lot of turns just to get in. Right, so I'm hoping the car isn't on limp mode to start off with. Oh, it sounds so good. Nah, the brakes aren't working properly. It's acting weird, yeah. It's doing some weird stuff, man. Yeah, look.
Because he fingered it, remember? He's fingered it down there.
That's got nothing to do with it. The brakes are like doing this. No, the brakes are, oh. You know what the brakes are doing?
What?
When I brake, it's like doing this to me.
Fine.
Yeah.
That maybe he's bleeding.
But we didn't touch the brakes though, that's the thing. I will have to see.
Okay, so first things first. Engage gear 1 for automatic.
Okay.
Please accelerate to about 20 miles per kilometers per hour.
Oh, look what the car's doing, look.
Why is it doing that?
It's jerking. Yeah, look. Well, the car's not even moving right now. We ain't going nowhere. The ESP light is going mad. This is the limp mode of all limp modes. Car is not going nowhere. We're going about...
Should I press continue?
We're going about 5 miles an hour. Let's head back. The brakes aren't working properly. I don't know. Maybe one of the sensors aren't working or something like that. I can't really tell right now. It says formatted, currently unavailable. Something's wrong somewhere. And look, so much for trying to drive the car. Look, I'm doing about 5 miles an hour and the car just... The ESP is like cutting in permanently and the car's just jerking and we're gonna have to go back in now. Unfortunately, look at this, the car don't want to go nowhere. All right, so obviously on your test drive you saw we barely done about 5 miles an hour. The car's got all these ESP lights. There you go, EBD, ESP, engine management light. We couldn't even do the program calibration for the rotor sensor, so we're gonna have to scan the car again, see what fault codes are coming up, because I feel like there's plenty of fault codes in this car left over still to deal with. So I'm just scanning through the whole car. And currently we have 4 fault codes on the ECM, 4 fault codes on the ESP, which is going to explain all these lights on the dash. That's the reason we couldn't even go ahead and do the calibration in the first place. So I've just pressed cleared on all of them and let's see what's left over. We've got 3 left apparently. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is getting a bit long now, isn't it? Engine management light is still on. I'm going to have to try to drive the car again. Let's at least hope the car drives as it should to start off with. Then we'll see about the rest. So I've cleared the codes again. Hopefully that fixes the problem. We're gonna have to see about driving it. Nah, the brakes are still doing that thing. I don't know what it is, but it's almost like it does this. Fluctuates up and down. Something is definitely wrong somewhere. There you go, look, formatted, currently unavailable. It's to do with the formatting system that's causing me not to be able to drive the car properly. So I've got a feeling that something down there is not connected or something like that. That's all I can think about. I can't seem to think what else it could be. Possibly on the gearbox or on the... Possibly on the gearbox or on the transfer box. You know what? Let's go back inside, put it on the ramp and have a look. Look at this. Flashing away like mad. There's no power at all. I can't even go above 5 miles an hour. So this has been very tricky for me. I've been trying to figure out for a while now. Vehicle is idling, engine speed is green, above 500. That's fine. So let's continue. F1 will reset the adaptation value, right? Let's hope this fixes the problem, man. After all this, okay, the teaching process succeeded. I really hope that has fixed the problem and the fault code has gone. Okay, it's happening right now. All right, time will tell. It says completed now, yeah? So now we should not have a fault code on the engine to do with the rotor adaptation. And I'm hoping the engine management light should be gone. Let's have a look at the trouble codes. So the fault code is still there. And I think that's from before. Let's erase it and see what happens. Come on, don't let me down. After all this engine rebuilding we've done, oh, come on, man. Not carried out, still there. Headache. I can clear it as much as I want, but it ain't gonna go away. It's gone now. But I think when I scan it or start the car, it'll come back again. I'm gonna have to figure this one out, guys.
These projects are not as easy as it seems. So we pull the car back in the workshop now. We're gonna put it up on the ramp, look underneath in the gearbox, transfer box. Just make sure everything's plugged in properly, because I don't see how this car was driving one day and then the engine failed and it was driving like that, because clearly it wasn't 5 miles an hour. You can't even drive past 5 miles an hour. So we've had a look underneath the car, on the gearbox, the drivetrain. Everything seems connected. Nothing's loose. Hit down here. I doubt it's anything to do with the wiring. There you go, everything's plugged in. So what I'm gonna do again is scan the car all over again and see what fault codes are left over. That's the only way, to be honest. When it comes to diagnosing cars, you gotta go back and forth till you get it right. It takes time, but it's rewarding. So let's crack on. So after doing a full scan on the car, as you can see, it has 10 fault codes, right? The ones in orange are the ones with fault. So let's have a look at the report and see what comes up. So let's ignore the engine for now, because we know that's got a sensor adaptation fault from the start. Scroll down. Yeah, I don't know what that says. Verbongas and wooden bay, some German thing going on there. Let's forget that. This one here. AMG drive unit. Communication with drivetrain control module is faulty. A general signal fault exists. And the rest is obviously AC and the sound system. Again, not too important for now. Ignoring the heads-up display, we're gonna have to focus on this one right now. It's to do with the signal, probably electrical problem or something. Yeah, and that's probably what's causing the car to shake. What I'm gonna do is manually go into this module and try to clear it off. Let's try that first. So, a bit of an improvement under AMG drive unit. We only have engine mount fault codes, which I don't see as being too serious. So, I'm gonna go ahead, try drive the car again, and at least I'm gonna hope the car drives as it should. Then we can figure out the engine problem, because right now I can barely go above 5 miles an hour, and that doesn't help trying to diagnose other problems. Look, 4MATIC still currently unavailable. Look, again, the car don't want to go nowhere. Traction lights flashing like crazy. As you know, we were just data logging the car on the road, looking at all 4 wheel speed sensors. Now, look, as you look over here, when we're on the road, it looked to me that the front right is a bit low, but come over here, let me show you something. Left front axle, yeah, watch this. So I'm spinning the wheel. Can you see? It's showing a reading, right?
Oh, it is.
Now come to this side, follow me. Let's spin this wheel now, and let's see what it says. Oh shit, it's reading, man. It's reading, it's reading.
What?
It's reading now. It's working now, man.
Huh?
It's working now.
What do you mean working out? What the bum like
I don't know, man. This car's a headache right now. So I don't know, man. Just a second ago it wasn't working, so maybe it's temperamental, maybe it's some rust. Maybe it's just not working properly. We're gonna have to find out. So what we're gonna do is take the wheel off and inspect the wheel speed sensors. From the fault codes, it did state that one of the wheel speed sensors has a fault to it, and we only touched the front 2 wheels. I don't see the back one being a problem, even though it's not producing something on the graph. So what we're going to do now is remove one of the ABS wheel sensors and just inspect it, because obviously when we took the engine out, because the drive shafts were in the way, we had to take both of the drive shafts at the front off. So I've got a feeling either the ABS sensor or the ring on the drive shaft has a fault on it, because it's got to be one of these 2. I doubt it's the back. We didn't touch the back, you know. It's a brand new car as well, not to mention. So we've just removed the ABS sensor from the driver's side. Having a look at it, in general, it looks okay, but if you look on this side, you can see some sort of like scrape mark on it. You see? So I've got a feeling that the ring on the drive shaft is damaged and it's causing this ABS sensor to rub. As a result, cause the fault codes and let the ESP cut in continuously. I'm gonna have a look at the one on the left side, see if it looks the same or not. I got both the ABS sensors from the front on my hand, and they look undamaged and clean. All right, let me tell you what's happening now, yeah? It is currently 8:25 p.m. Everybody's gone home. Everyone. I'm the last person in this unit, still on the GT63s, trying to figure out why the car won't move above 5 miles an hour. It's nothing to do with the engine, it's to do with the ESP, the ABS sensors, and the traction system control module. I don't know, I've just got a feeling like the person who's driving this car when the engine failed, it was absolutely fine until the engine blew up. Why should there be a fault right now? There must be some sort of thing that I'm not getting right, or I have to figure out. That's why I'm staying back so late, trying to figure out. So what I'm going to do now is do a steering angle sensor learn, because I've got a feeling that
that needs to be learnt because the engine was completely stripped out. I know the drive shafts came out, so I've just accessed the electronic power steering adaptations. Do the steering angle sensor learn process. Obviously over here, I pressed continue, and now look, current steering angle, no value available. So it's not even letting me do it. So it's clear there's a problem with the control module. I've got a feeling that the traction control system module is faulty altogether. Look, you got suspension faults. I don't know, this car's going crazy. It's driving me crazy for sure. Look, you can't even continue right now. I can't do it. It says completed, but as you saw, the value was 0. It should say 0 degrees, especially when it's straight ahead like this. Yeah. Data received from the traction control system module were implausible. So what I've done now is doing a program follow-up routine where it's going to teach in the control unit ESP where we're having the problem. So obviously it's now read the data, it's now doing a full teaching. It's saying it's completed as well. So I don't know what's just happened, but you know what? This is starting to piss me off right now. I feel like this is just wasting my time and we're not going nowhere. Still at it, guys. Clearing fault codes, doing different bits of programming, and it's nearly 9 PM right now, so I think I'm going to call it a day. You can probably tell how much time I spent in this car today trying to figure out what the issue is, and all I can say is I haven't filmed even quarter of what we did today. Probably like 8-9 hours straight trying to figure out this ESP problem, let alone the engine fault code we got. But you know what? That's all we got time for on this video. I'll see you guys next week where we're gonna continue to diagnose the issues. We will get to the bottom of it as we always do. And if we don't, we're gonna find a way. That's how we do at Boost Performance. So guys, thanks for tuning in and I'll see you guys in the next one.